thought I was going crazy because you'd walk around as if everything was normal. But then I realized that's a lie!
Rose.
I want
You're a virgin who can't drive.
On paper, this film had all the ingredients for something compelling. It's a dark, methodically paced psychological thriller that takes place during the infamous quote-unquote Satanic Panic era of the early 1990s, a time when accusations of ritualistic abuse were everywhere, yet actual proof of organized satanic groups never materialized. The movie blends detective work with social commentary about collective paranoia and the questionable practice of recovered memory therapy, all wrapped up in some genuinely eerie, dreamlike visuals. Here's something interesting. Despite Emma Watson being the main selling point in all the marketing, she barely appears for more than 20 minutes of screen time. And get this, while it completely bombed in America, earning a measly $55,000, it somehow managed to top the Spanish box office for an entire week. Wild, right? All right, let's dive in. Set in the 1990s in Minnesota, the story follows Detective Bruce Kenner as he dives into a disturbing case involving John Gray, a father who confesses to harming his teenage daughter Angela, but claims he has zero memory of doing it. Pretty wild premise right off the bat. Kenner teams up with Professor Kenneth Raines, who specializes in recovered memory therapy, basically trying to unlock buried memories through hypnosis and psychological techniques. They start working on John to see if they can dig up what actually happened. Things get darker when Angela describes being assaulted by masked individuals who photographed the abuse, leading the investigators to suspect some kind of satanic cult is behind everything. The detectives even start suspecting their own colleague, Detective George Nesbitt, though they can't find any solid evidence against him. The investigation expands when they track down Angela's brother, Roy, in Pittsburgh. He'd left home years earlier, and under the same memory recovery treatment, he starts recalling creepy hooded figures coming into his room as a kid. They also look into the grandmother, Rose Gray, but come up empty there too. Here's where things get really psychological. Bruce starts having intense nightmares about satanic rituals. Angela feeds into his paranoia, claiming the cult wants her dead because she revealed some demonic mark to him, and now he's a target too. She says her mother got threatening calls and saw strange people watching her before dying in an accident. The paranoia escalates when Rose Gray throws herself out a window after claiming to see ghostly figures. During an emotional meeting in a cemetery, Angela kisses Bruce, which completely shocks him and makes him step back from the case. The turning point comes when Bruce sees a woman in a soup commercial and realizes she's the same person from his nightmares. This makes him question everything. He concludes that the recovered memory therapy has basically created false memories, and the whole situation is mass hysteria. Even Professor Raines eventually admits the memories probably aren't real. But then Bruce gets jumped by two hooded figures who turn out to be George and another colleague, Farrell. Turns out George was seeking revenge because Bruce's investigation ruined his career by labeling him a child molester. The final twist reveals that Angela orchestrated the entire thing. She wanted to escape her family, who she blamed for her mother's death, and had been having an affair with George. When he refused to run away with her because she was underage, she decided to frame her father for abuse to get out of the house. When Bruce confronts her with the truth, Angela threatens to tell everyone about their kiss in the cemetery if he exposes her. Despite learning the truth, John Gray decides to plead guilty anyway, hoping to protect Angela and that maybe someday she'll forgive him for being a failed father. So there you have it. Regression turned out to be more like a sleeping pill than a thriller. Despite having a cast like Ethan Hawke, Emma Watson, and David Thewlis, the movie completely wastes their talents in what amounts to a dull, empty shell of a psychological thriller.
Sure, it nails the moody atmosphere and creates a genuinely unsettling tone, but then does absolutely nothing meaningful with those elements, ultimately building up to a conclusion with such a predictable, underwhelming revelation that you'll see it coming from miles away. The only thing that truly regressed here was my will to stay awake. But hey, at least I just saved you from sitting through nearly 2 hours of TDM.